Hello Gatekeepers, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing how I prepare my toddler, the youngest of the bunch, for the arrival of their newest sibling. So grab a cup of whatever it is that you drink and let's talk about it. Okay, so first things first, my kids love each other. Profound, right? Like, they love each other so much. The love that they have for each other is so deep and it's so special, and I love witnessing it every day. Like, it's so special to me, where I'm like, oh my God, they love each other. It's like so passionate, so fierce, it's so intentional, and they love each other. So right off the bat, they were all super excited when they found out that they were going to have another little brother or a little sister. And so when it comes to the youngest, which is Honor, he's 1 year old. He is extremely bright. He's basically 3, but he's really 1. He understands so much. He talks like he's full-blown talking. He's a 1 year old and he can have a full-out conversation with you. But I feel like there's still, obviously, right, because they're 1 year old, there's still concepts that are not fully grasped. And so when it comes to Papa, Mommy has a baby in her stomach, he gets it. Like, he's like, okay, I seen your belly was flat and now I see that your belly looks really round. I understand that. As far as like something is gonna come out, I don't think he understands that part too much. And so he'll come up to me and he'll hug my belly and he'll say, baby, I give baby a kiss, and he'll give the baby a kiss. And then he also says that he's gonna catch the baby, because this is something that we've all talked about, where Victory wants to catch the baby. And so he heard that, and so he's like, I catch the baby, Honor catch the baby. And so he wants to catch the baby too. And so he's understanding that something is happening, you know? And so recently I've been talking to him much more about it, and I'm like, Honor, I was like, there's a baby in Mommy's belly. He knows what a baby is. And I'm like, there's a baby in Mommy's belly and it's going to come out. I am 100% all for teaching my children correct anatomy and using anatomically correct words. So he knows he has a penis, and he knows and understands that his sisters and his mom have a vagina. And so I'm like, there's a baby in Mommy's belly, and Mommy's gonna push the baby and the baby's gonna come out of Mommy's vagina. And so he's like, I catch the baby, Mommy vagina. So he understands that whole process, where it's like, there's a baby that's gonna come out of Mommy's vagina. And so he's ready for that. What I'm most excited for is, like, I can't wait to see his face, because it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm so blessed and so thankful that I've been able to experience this 4 times already. And each time it was just so beautiful. It's like when Justice first saw Victory for the first time, you seen like the dots connect, where it's like she looked at her sister, she laughed and she smiled, and she looked at me, she looked at my belly, and it's like all the dots connected, and it's like, oh, there was a baby in there, and all the baby's really here. I can't wait to see that moment when Honor connects all the dots, and he's like, and his newest little BFF is born. And so as far as tips on how I intentionally prepare them, and more so, like I said, speaking of the toddler, because he's the youngest of the bunch. He hasn't been a big brother yet. And so this is his first time. So, I mean, yes, it's a big deal. He's having a sibling, but my children, it's been the same experience with all of them, where it's just like, they welcomed the new baby with like open arms and open hearts, and they were just like super excited. And I intentionally did things to include them and to make the transition like easier for them. And so those are the things that I want to share. And so I did notice in the past like 2 weeks that Honor has become just, we don't want this light. He's become just a little bit more, what's the word I want to use? I mean, because the attachment is there. Literally, my eldest, my 8-year-old, my 6-year-old, my 4-year-old, my 1-year-old, they're on me all day. Like they love me and I love them so much. We're all securely attached to each other, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And so what I have noticed different is that he's been feeling it extra. He's been feeling it more, where there's more, mommy carry me, mommy give me a hug, mommy give me a kiss, and like more so wanting to be in my arms and me just holding him, and he'll just look at me in my face. Oh, he's so romantic and cute, my baby. He's adorable. I'm seeing his little face right now, his little teeth and his hair always in his face, and oh, he's so cute. Anyway, and so I'm like, okay, especially because I've been contracting like crazy the last 3 weeks, but especially this past week, I've just been having contractions. Like it feels like I've just been having them all day. And so it's like he's sensing that transition too, like, oh my gosh, like it's happening, like this baby's coming soon. And I don't know the science behind it. I can't tell you the science behind it. I just know that I've experienced it with all of my kids, where it's like those last 2 weeks of my pregnancy where they're just like, they just want me like they've never wanted me before. They just want to be in my arms all day and just with me and playing with me and talking with me and like all my attention. So now I want to talk about how this plays out once I have the baby. So once I have the baby, for me personally, I know it's so different for everyone. And I thank God that I've never experienced the hard side of it, where the transition was hard for the other child. Like I said, it's always been like welcome. The baby was always welcomed with like open arms and so happy and just like loving on the baby and wanting to hug the baby and kiss the baby and wanting to be all involved, and never really any like what's the word I'm looking for, like they didn't seem like they were like being pushed to the side or like, oh my gosh, mommy's forgetting about me type of thing. And I credit that to I guess what I would do with them to make them not feel that way, So for me, newborn stage is, all the stages are my favorite, but there's just something so special and so fleeting about the newborn stage that I'm just like, I love it so much. Like, give me 100 newborns at the same time and I'll be so content in in that little like it's not even 2 months for me. I swear it's like 3 weeks that they're really a newborn. And then after that, it's just like crawling and babbling and sitting up. Like it goes by so fast. So I love the newborn season so much. And I feel like they sleep a lot of that time. And so I'll nurse my baby. They're up for a couple minutes, put them to sleep. And then I have all this time with my other children. I personally don't feel like it ever like invaded or like took all my time, because like I said, I feel like the newborn stage was it's so sweet. I've found the newborn stages to be so sweet and simple, and I love them so much, where it's just like, oh my gosh, they're just little and tiny and so curious, discovering this new world around them. I feed them, I change them, play with them a little bit, and then they're knocked out for like 2.5 hours, and then repeat that for the whole entire day for the next couple of weeks. And so there's really no time that's being taken away from my other children. And so I feel like that has really helped my children being able to welcome so many new siblings, because they're like, oh, okay, like things are still the same, like Nothing really changed. Mommy's sitting down right now. She's breastfeeding the baby. We're with her. We're loving on the baby. We're hugging the baby. We'll help mommy change the diaper. We'll help mommy put the clothes on. And then mommy says, all right, you guys got to get out. Give me a few minutes so I can lay the baby down. And then we got 2.5 hours of us again. And then we miss the baby. We wake up the baby at whatever time baby wakes up, or we just let the baby wake up by itself. And then, you know, it's like, I don't feel like any time has ever been stolen from them. And so, I'm trying to think, let me see. And then as far as night times, everybody's sleeping except me and baby, you know, for those hours or the times that the baby wakes up. So their time is not being taken from either. And so I think I would say the main two things are being super intentional with your kids. Like, especially like say baby was having a rough day or something, and they were just like cluster feeding, and you were just like nursing all day and you couldn't do all the other things. Your kid will understand, you know, or it's like, hey, like the baby's going, like just keeping them involved in what's going on. Like, hey, the baby's 2 weeks today, so they're having a little growth spurt. So that means that they're going to want a little bit more milk. So mommy might not be able to do that activity with you, or mommy might not be able to go outside today, you know, but just preparing them and keeping them involved and just letting them know everything that's going on, as opposed to just like kind of snapping because you're frustrated. It's like, I just can't do that right now. Don't you see I'm feeding the baby? Or like steering away from that completely, you know, and just like, hey, baby's going through a growth spurt, or baby's just really fussy today. Baby really needs mommy. Maybe you can go get some books and we can sit here and we can read together to the baby, and we could spend time here, but mommy's going to have to hold the baby for a little while longer. So I think that really helps. And then I do remember some days where I remember when I had Valor. Wait, is Valor? Yeah. I remember when I first had Valor, and Victory was just, she was 1 year old. Just like how Honor is, like they've all, the space, the age gap is pretty much all similar. But she was 1 year old and still my little baby, you know. And I was holding Valor, and I had nursed him, and he was already sleeping, but he was like kind of like on the nursing pillow, so I just left him there. And she seen that he was sleeping, and she's like, "All done, baby. All done, baby." What did she say? She's like, "I hold you." It's that like I hold her, not she holds me, but she's like, "I hold you." And it's like she was aware, like, okay, he's sleeping. You can put him down, mommy, and now hold me, you know? And so I remember moments like that, and there have been moments like that. There have been some hard moments I could remember here and there where like I was maybe like cooking with the baby, had the baby in some type of carrier or sling, and I'm just like rocking baby and I'm cooking and stuff, and then whoever the toddler was at the time was like, "Mommy, hold me." And I'm like, "I can't right now, baby, because mommy's cooking and I have the baby right here. So what I'll do is I'll put the temperature down. I'm gonna go lay the baby down because baby's sleeping now, and then I'll grab you, okay?" And then they'll be like, "Okay," you know, as opposed to, "No, I just can't right now because I'm holding the baby, I'm cooking." Like I work with them because I'm like, I'm understanding that your feelings are valid. You want me too, you know, and I want to be there for you also, and I can. All I have to do is just put this temperature down, put the baby down, and I'm here for you. And guess what? There's moments where it's not always perfect like that. Like there's moments where sometimes you're not in the best mood, or it is overwhelming, and sometimes you might snap, and that's okay too. Like I'm not a perfect mother. You're not a perfect mother. We can never be perfect mothers ever. It's just all about intentionality, and that's always my perspective. That's always what I have at the forefront of my mind. I'm like, Amanda, you're not perfect. You can't be perfect, but you can be intentional in how you respond and how you react and how you navigate everything that you have to navigate throughout the day. You're not perfect. You can't be perfect, but you can be intentional. That's something that is attainable. Being intentional, that is attainable. Perfection is not attainable. We will never be perfect. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. And also another tip would be allowing your toddler to, this blue light. Another thing would be allowing your toddler to have like that time with the baby, like letting the toddler hold the baby and let him help you. Like, hey, Honor, go give me a diaper for the baby. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, feeling so gassy. All right. And to be involved in all the things that you're doing with the baby. Like if you need to change the baby's diaper, be like, hey, Honor, go get mommy a diaper. And I mean, he loves to do it for himself right now. Like, I'm like, Honor, stinky booty, go get a diaper. And he'll run and he's like, I stinky booty. He'll run to the linen closet because that's where we have the diapers. He'll grab his diaper and he'll come and he'll throw himself on the floor and he's ready. So I could imagine him being a big brother, that sense of responsibility that he's gonna feel and that he's just gonna take on, because he's like that. Honor's super helpful. He takes initiative. He can play by himself for hours. Like he's the best. He's the best and he's the cutest. And I can't wait to witness him as a big brother to a little sister or a little brother. I cannot wait. I know that he's going to do great. I know that the transition is going to be well. And if you're watching this and you're hearing me and you're like, oh, that sounds great, but I don't have those experiences. If your experience is that the transitions are hard for you, I hope that those few tips that I did give, I hope that they can be helpful to you in this new season as you navigate having a toddler and a newborn and preparing your toddler for the newborn, where it's just like being intentional with him and involving him in the whole process. And I believe when you do those things that your toddler will come around and feel and just kind of step into that role of being big brother or big sister and really loving it and enjoying it. And if he sees mommy happy and content and not really changing with him, I think that it would be a really good and smooth transition. So that's it, guys. That's personally how I prepare the youngest of the bunch to welcome their newest sibling. I'm just super intentional with them. They're just involved in the entire process. And even on those days where it's harder to go the extra mile, or I might be sleepy because I didn't get any sleep that night before or something, I make sure that my responses are intentional. I make sure that through that I speak body language, everything, because I know that they're watching. I know that they have big feelings too. I know that this is a big transition for them too, not just for me. Like, yes, my hormones are everywhere and I just had a baby and I'm tired and this, but you're going through something too. And I love you and you love me, and let's work this out together. Like, I want to help you go through your transition. Like, it's not my toddler's responsibility to help me through my transition. I want to help him because he's still my baby. He's still my little baby. And this is a big life transition for him. Like, he's going to be a big brother now. Like, that's a big thing. And I want to make that transition for him as smooth as possible. And so I hope this video encouraged you. If you have any specific questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I would love to get back to you. So there you have it. Those are the few tips I have for preparing your toddler for the new arrival of their newest sibling. I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you can implement some of these things in your family, and let me know in the comment section below how you're doing, how you're feeling about this. Especially if you're going from 1 to 2, I would love to know how you're feeling. What are you doing to prepare? And just know that everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Intentionality, patience, and just keeping a schedule where your child feels like nothing really changed. Like, yes, there's more love in the home now. There's another sibling, but my time with you really isn't too affected. You know, like, you're still here for me. You still love me. You're still my mommy. And having a baby didn't change anything. Like, I feel like toddlers just need that reassurance, like, I'm still your mommy. Mommy loves you. Like, you're still my baby. And I feel like the transition would be very smooth for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.